Okay. So the next chapter. باب المفعول الذي لم يسمى فاعله. The chapter of the maf'ul whose fa'il is not mentioned. So when we say the maf'ul whose fa'il is not mentioned, it means the chapter of the naibul fa'il. وهو الاسم المرفوع الذي لم يذكر معه فاعله. It is what ism in the rafa status whose fa'il is not mentioned with it. فإن كان الفعل ماضيا ضم أوله. Okay. And as for the fail madi, the fail in the past tense, the dhamma awwalahu, the dhamma is there on the first letter. وَكُسِرَ مَا قَبْلَ آخِرِهِ. And there is a kasra. Where is the kasra? The kasra is on the second last letter. مَا قَبْلَ آخِرِهِ, the one before the last letter. So the second last letter has a kasra and the first letter has a dhamma. وَإِنْ كَانَ مُضَارِعًا ضَمَّ أَوَّلُهُ وَفُتِحَ مَا قَبْلَ آخِرِهِ. And as for the present tense, there is a dhamma on the first letter. وَفُتِحَ مَا قَبْلَ آخِرِهِ. And there is a fatha on whatever comes before the last letter, means the second last letter has a fatha. So the first letter has a dhamma for the present tense and the second last letter has a fatha for it. Okay. We'll continue reading. وهو قسمين, and it has two types. ظاهر ومضمر. Again the same two types, the apparent and the one with the zamir. فالظاهر نحو قولك. As for the zahir or the apparent naibul fa'il, نحو قولك, like you will say, ضرب زيد. Okay, so now they have given the examples like they have given the examples for the fa'il. So these are the examples for the naibul fa'il. ضرب زيد ويضرب زيد وأكرم عمرو ويكرم عمرو ومزمر 12 and which pronouns are 12 نحو قولك, like you will say ضربت ضربنا ضربت ضرب ضربتما ضربتم ضربتن ضرب ضربت and ضربا. So okay, so they have just given a few examples for this, not as many examples they have given. They just assume that we will understand with it only what is happening. We start with the examples from here. The first example, Duriba. For this we know what they said, that if it is a past tense, then the first letter will take a dhamma and the second last, which is a raw, will take a kasra. So dhamma and the kasra shows that this is past, that's it, or the madi majhul. And after that we see Zaidun in the rafa status, so this becomes a naibul fa'il for it. Yudharibu Zaidun. Now they have given the same example, but instead of the past tense, use the present tense. Yudhrabu. So we see that the first letter has taken a dhamma and the second last letter has taken a fatha. So this shows that this fi'il is the present passive for madi mudari majhul. Then the next example we have another fi'il, and that is Ukrima Amrun. Amrun is in the rafa status. Now we look at the fi'il, it's the past tense. First letter is taking a dhamma and the second last letter is taking the ra, taking a kasra. So this is a past passive fi'il. Next, and Amrun becomes the fa'il for it because it is in the rafa status. Next is with the example with the present tense. Yukramu Amrun. Yukramu. So present tense, first letter will take a dhamma And the second last letter will take a fatha, and that indicates that this fi'l is in the passive form and it is present passive, and amrun is the naib fa'il for it. And then they have given the example, well, muzmarun, and with the pronouns are 12, and they have given a long list of it. We will get into it when we go in the note. So let us discuss this in the Yes, so we said that this is what the chapter of maf'ul fa'il is not mentioned. It is the ism in the rafa status whose fa'il is not mentioned. We have discussed this already. Then for the past tense, what they are saying that the first letter will take a dhamma and the one before last or the second last will take a kasra. And few examples we have discussed. Futiha, so fa has taken a dhamma and the second last ta has taken a kasra. Ukrima first has taken a dhamma and the second last has taken a kasra. Ukturiba, the first has taken a dhamma and the second last, which is a ra, has taken a kasra. And then Unsira. So first letter has taken a dhamma and the second last has taken a kasra. So this will indicate that this is in the passive form. Okay. So when we come to the present tense, what is the recognition that the first letter will take a dhamma and the one before last or the second last will take a fatha. So yaftahu, the ya has taken a dhamma and the ta, which is second last, has taken a fatha. Yukramu, the ya has taken a dhamma and the ra, which is second last, has taken a fatha. Yuktarabu, the first letter has taken a dhamma and the second last, which is the ra, has taken a fatha. And then the last one is yustansaru. So the first letter has taken a dhamma and the second last, which is a sword, has taken a fatha. So this will be the identification that they are in the passive form and it is present passive. Again, what are they saying? They again, same way, they are two types of naibul fa'il. The first is the apparent one and the second one is with the pronoun or with the muzmarun. Okay, so yes, this example. Um, these are the examples of the uh, naibul fa'il, which is apparent, or naibul fa'il, which is zahir. Naibul fa'il is zahir. Okay. Kutiba alaykumus siyamu. Kutiba, the past tense, first letter has taken a dhamma and the second last has taken a kasra, so this indicates this is passive. After it, we see that asiyamu is in the rafa status, so this will become the naibul fa'il, and we will say that this is a naibul fa'il and it is zahir because we see it in words, it's apparent to us. Next example is Gulibat room. This was actually a gulibat and a room because of the two harfin coming together, ta and Islam. So what is happening that this ta has taken kasra, it wasn't actually there. So gulibat actually is the past tense and the ya form or the fourth sigha, and then a room not there, but there should be a dhamma there. Okay. So why is a room in the rafa status? The dhamma shows it is in the rafa status, and why is it in the rafa status? Because it becomes a naibul fa'il for the fa'il before it. So again, we will say this is a naibul fa'il al-zahir al-room. Okay. Next example. Ulimna mantaqat tayr. Okay. The translation will be, we have taught the language of the bird. So here we see we don't see that there is anything after the fi'il in the rafa status, but after the meme, ain, lam, meme are the root words, and we say that noon alif is extra. So we have discussed that whenever we have this noon alif, that is going to become the outside fa'il. That's what we have discussed. But since now this is the uh, passive, so hence this na we will take it as a naibul fa'il, and since it is coming in the form of zamir, so we will say this is the naibul fa'il muzmar. Okay, so this was the explanation we had in the matan for the naibul fa'il. This was a question I asked in the group, and Sister Sauda gave an answer. I am sure that most of the sisters um, probably know it, but some of you still will be having some complication understanding that what is the difference between the lazim and the mutaddi. Even I was confused for so many years that why lazim doesn't take, or the lazim cannot be converted into the passive. So to understand the passive, it is important to understand the transitive and the intransitive verb, the lazim and the mutaaddi. So when we say it is intransitive, it is lazim verb. So what happens that lazim cannot take a maf'ul bihi. So because it cannot take a maf'ul bihi, hence it cannot be changed into a passive. What happens if I say nama zaidun? Now nama means he sleeps. Nama slept. This is the past. So since this is a lazim fi'il, it will not take a maf'ul bihi. So when we remove the zaidun, then what will happen? There is not going to be any replacement for the zaidun. And what do we say that whenever it is a jumla fi'liya, then two components are necessary to complete a jumla fi'liya, the fi'il and the fa'il. So sometimes what happens when we are making majhool, we remove the file from there, but a replacement for it or the acting file, which we say naibul file, takes the place of the file. But one there is we cannot make a file. So whenever there's going to be a lazim fi'il, which will not take any maf'ul bihi, hence it is impossible to make it a passive. And the other thing is when we talk about the mutaaddi or the transitive fi'il, so what happens in the mutaaddi fi'il? It takes the maf'ul bihi. The just a minute, just a minute. Okay. So when we have a mutaaddi fi'il, a mutaaddi fi'il takes a maf'ul bihi. So what happens when we remove the file from the picture? The maf'ul bihi takes the place of a file. So the example that I have given is Hafiza Hamidun ad-darsa. Hamid has memorized his lesson. So what happens when we want to make it the passive? So from Hafiza it becomes Hufiza, and then in the place of Hamid, what happens? The file was removed, and that place was empty, which is taken by the maf'ul bihi. So the maf'ul bihi jumps into the place of the file, and it has taken a dhamma on it because now it will become the acting file. And then sometimes what happens, we know that some fail, they do take two maf'ul bihi, or we say that we are muta'addili maf'ulain. They are uh, transitive by two maf'ul bihi. So the example I have given, yu'ti Zaidun Khalidan dirhaman. Zaid gives Khalid money. So Zaidun originally in the original sentence was the fa'il. Khalidan was the maf'ul bihi awwal, the first maf'ul bihi, and dirhaman is the second maf'ul bihi. When we remove the file from the picture, the first maf'ul bihi jumps and takes the place of Zaid, and its status will change from nasab to rafa. And then the second maf'ul bihi, what happens to it? It will stay in its place, nothing changes in it. So then that's going to be, if we change the sentence to the passive, that's going to be yu'ta Khalidun dirhaman. Khalid is given money. So is this much clear to everyone about the lazim and the mutaaddi things?
Yes.
Yes, Alhamdulillah.
Okay, so we'll leave the last chapter for today. Babul Mubtada wal Khabar. Yes. Babul Mubtada wal Khabar. The chapter of the Mubtada and Khabar. المبتدا هو الاسم مرفوع عاري عن العوامل اللفظية. The mubtada, it is the ism in the rafa status. Ari means it is unaffected or it is free from what? Anil awamilil lafziya, from the agent which is seen in words. Like you will not see any agent. We have talked about that when a word takes certain status, there has to be an agent acting upon it. So now what is happening? What are they saying? That when it is a mubtada, you will not see any apparent or any agent, any amil in words. That is giving it the rafa status. So it takes the rafa status. We know that rafa status is the default, but they are saying it is in the rafa status because there is no agent on it. والخبر هو الاسم المرفوع مسند إليه, and the khabar, it is the ism in the rafa status. Musnidu ilayhi, it is related to it, or it is related to, it is referred to it. This he, ilayhi, this he, actually this he, it goes back to the mubtada. So it is connected to the mubtada. It is referred to the mubtada. That's what they are saying. Nahwa qawlika, like you will say, Zaidun qa'imun. This is the first example, Zaidun qa'imun. Now, qa'imun is the khabar, and qa'imun is related to Zaid, that Zaid is standing, or Zaid is the one who stands. So, if somebody just says qa'imun, it is not going to make any sense. So, this is actually going back to Zaid, it has a connection to it. So, this is what is the meaning of Musnad ilayhi. وَزَيْدَانِ قَائِمَانِ, and two Zaids are standing. وَزَيْدُونَ قَائِمُونَ, and multiple Zaids are standing. So first example is the singular. We see that if the mubtada is singular, the khabar is also singular. The second case, الزَّيْدُونَ قَائِمَانِ, when the mubtada is pair, the khabar is also pair. زَيْدَانِ قَائِمَانِ. And the third example they have given, when the khabar is also plural, az-zayduna qa'imuna, mubtada and khabar both are plural here. Now they are saying wal mubtada qismani, and the mubtada are two types. So apparent to this. Next is والمزمر اثنتا عشر وهي, and with the pronoun are how many? اثنتا عشر are 12, and they are أنا ونحن وأنت وأنت وأنتما وأنتم وأنتن وهو وهي وهما وهم وهن نحو قولك. So these are the pronouns they have given us. We already know them. And then we have given the example نحو قولك, like you will say, or for example you will say أنا قائم ونحن قائمون وما أشبه ذلك. أنا قائم. So أنا is a pronoun. We know it. So the mubtada is a pronoun, and the example is أنا قائم نحن قائمون. Again, they follow the same rule that ana was singular. So when the mubtada is singular, the khabar is also singular. نحن قائمون, the mubtada is plural and the plural وما أشبه ذلك and whatever resembles it. So means it is a way of saying etc. So this was simple. Then we get into the khabar.
Api, so when the mubtada is muzammar, then it's always there has to be a pronoun.
Yes, Dwad, Mim, Ra, Zamir.
Okay,
So
Zamir.
with the pronoun, with the Zamir ke saath.
Okay, ठीक है.
That is the meaning of the word. If we understand the meaning of the word, it makes life so much simpler. We don't really have to memorize that. What does it mean? Okay. والخبر قسمani مفرد وغير مفرد. As for the khabar, it has two types. The first is single word. Here, mufrad will not mean singular and plural pair, not that. Single word means one word. وغير مفرد and more than one word. That's how we will translate for it. Now, up till now, for mufrad, we just said singular, but now it means one word. غير مفرد means more than one word. We'll discuss it when we get into the class notes inside. والمفرد نحو, as for the mufrad, like you will say زيد قائم. The same example, simple example. Zaidun was single word, قائم is the khabar for it. And then وغير مفرد أربعة أشياء. And for more than one word are how many things? Are four things. What are they? Jar, al-jar wal-majroor, the jar and the majroor. So the harf of the jar fragment was zarfu, and the zarf وفعل مع فاعله, and the fi'l with its file means a jumla fi'liya. والمبتدا مع خبره, and the mubtada with its khabar. So mubtada with its khabar means a jumla ismiya. نحو زيد, نحو for example, زيد في الدار. زيد في الدار is the example of the first type. زيد is the mubtada. في الدار is the jar majroor. So Zaidun is the mubtada. في الدار is the jar majroor, and this is in the this will form the khabar for it. وزيد عندك, Zaidun is the mubtada, and inda we know is a zarf. So this whole indaka will form the khabar for the mubtada Zaidun. And the third is Zaidun qama abuhu. Zaidun is the mubtada. Qama abuhu, Zaid, his father was standing. So Zaidun is the mubtada. Qama abuhu, the whole of it is a jumla fi'liya, and that becomes the khabar for the mubtada. And the last example is وزيد وزيد جارية ذاهبة. So Zaidun is the mubtada. Jariyatuhu ذاهبة together will form a jumla ismiya. So when we get into the jumla ismiya, Jariyatuhu is the mubtada and ذاهبة is the khabar. So this jumla ismiya, Jariyatuhu ذاهبة, together will become the khabar for the first mubtada, which was Zaidun. Okay, what is the meaning of Jariyatuhu? It means the slave girl. His slave girl is going. This is what the sentence means. Jariyatu, slave girl, and who is the zamir which refers back to Zaid. Oh, subhanallah, my class notes have disappeared. Just a minute, let me open the class notes. Yes. Okay. Alhamdulillah. So, so there is a chapter upon the mubtada. They say it's the subject and the predicate. Mubtada, it starts with the root letters alpha, dal, and hamza. Ibtada, from it becomes the family eight, and it means to start. So always we see that mubtada is the first juz or the first part of a jumla ismiya. So that is coming from the root words bada'a. Family eight means to start. So we say that we have done it in Arabic. We'll quickly go through it again. Mubtada is the ism in the rafa status, which is unaffected from the agent in word. So it doesn't really have any agent to give it the rafa status. The default is rafa. We can say it as well. So again, it has two types, the zahir, apparent, and the muzmar with the pronouns. So when it is zahir, example I have given, and even we had the examples in the text when we were reading, Zaidun qa'imun, Zaidun is the mubtada, qa'imun is the khabar, Zaidani qa'imani, and Zaiduna qa'imuna, same examples. And this example I have written, ad-dinu an-nasiha. This is a hadith mubarakah, and it means so ad-dinu is the mubtada, and an-nasihatu, we take a dhamma here. So, yes, so an-nasihatu is the khabar, and it means religion is sincerity. Okay, so next is muzmar with the pronoun. So when we say with the pronoun, we mean that the independent pronoun in the rafa status. This is a chart. We already know this chart. I'll just go through some examples. And then first example is huwa Allahu. Huwa is a pronoun. And Allahu, the lafzi Allah, lafzi jalala is in the rafa status, the mubtada and khabar. Ana tubatun, I am a student. So ana is the pronoun, and so it's the mubtada, and the khabar is talibatun, the rafa status. Again, third example is antum muslimuna. So antum is the mubtada as a pronoun, or we can say the mubtada muzmar, and muslimuna is the khabar for it. So this was quite simple. Then khabar, we know that even in Urdu, we know that khabar is what? Khabar is basically the news. So khabar will give you the news about the mubtada, what is happening to the mubtada. And they say, now there are two types of khabar. The first is mufrad, like we said, one word, or it's going to be ghayru mufrad, more than one word. Now what is it? We'll get into it. When it is mufrad, the examples are the same. We'll not go through this. Okay, this example is new. Huwahu ghafurun. Lafzi Allah is the mubtada, and ghafurun is the khabar. So basically now we have to focus on the khabar, where the khabar is a single word. So qa'imun, single word. Muslimuna again is a single word, and ghafurun is a single word. So mubtada is a single word, and khabar also is a single word. Now when the the khabar is a ghayru mufrad, it is more than one word, then there is going to be four cases. Jar wa majur, second is zar, the third is jumla fi'liya, and the fourth is jumla ismiya. With the jar and majur, it's going to be some examples we have given. And so the first, as soon as we open up the Quran, so alhamdulillah, alhamdu is the mubtada, and lillahi is the jar majur, which becomes the khabar for alhamdu mubtada. Al-haqqu min rabbika, al-haqqu is the mubtada, and min rabbika, which is jar majur, becomes the khabar for it. Then again there is a hadith mubarakah, and that is al-majalisu bil amana. Al-majalisu is the mubtada, and bil amana, ba harf jar, and al-amanati majur, the majur will become the khabar for it. Gatherings are to be kept in confidence is the meaning of the hadith. And another hadith is Al-anatu min Allahi wa ujlatu min ash-shaytan. So this is again another hadith mubarakah. There is not one sentence but two sentences being connected with the waw. So for the first sentence, Al-anatu is the mubtada, min Allahi jar majrur, the khabar. Then this is the second sentence connecting with the waw atifa. Al-ujlatu is the mubtada, min ash-shaytan, jar majrur becomes the khabar for it. So the translation will be calmness is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the haste is from shaitan. Second is with the zarf. So we will get into detail what is zarf in the next few classes, inshallah. Just most of us know it, but even if there is an explanation needed, we'll get into in the next few classes. Zaidun indaka, so in Zaidun is the mubtada, indaka, inda is the zarf. So Zaid is with you. And then this is again a hadith mubarakah. Al mar'u ma'aman ahabba. Al mar'u is the mubtada, ma'a is the zarf. Man ahabba will become for it. Let's not go into it. So this is going to be the zarf, and this sentence will become the mudaf ilayh for it. Together, the whole of it, ma'aman ahabba, that will become the khabar for it. And the translation is a person will be with whom he loves. So that is talking actually about on the Yawm al-Qiyamah. The Prophet ﷺ said that the person will be with whom he loves. And some of the Sahaba asked that Prophet ﷺ, we just love the person, but we don't do what they do. So then the Prophet ﷺ, he said that Al-mar'u ma'a man ahabba, that even if you don't do what they do, you don't follow their practices, but still if you love them, means you are going to be with them on the last day.
Sister Samia, we have 7 minutes left.
Yes, I'm almost ending. Okay, two more topics, small topics. Okay, number 3 was the Jumla Fi'liya. So when the Mubtada is a single word and the Khabar is a Jumla Fi'liya. So the example I have given, Zaidun Qama Abuhu. This example we have already discussed. We'll get into. So Zaidun is the Mubtada and Qama Abu is the about and are going to the school, you can say. So Al Bintani is the Mubtada, Al Habani is the Fi'il, Ila al Madrasa Jar Majroor will become Muta'alliq for it, and together the whole Jumla Fi'liya will become Khabar for Al Bintani. And the last topic, okay, no, one more example. This is the last topic for us now. Okay. So when the khabar is a jumla ismiya. So first example is وَأَنْتَ حِلٌّ بِهَذَا الْبَلَدِ Surah Al-Balad, ayat number 2. So anta is the mubtada, حِلٌّ بِهَذَا الْبَلَدِ itself is a jumla ismiya. حِلٌّ is going to be the mubtada, and then ba is the harf jar. هَذَا الْبَلَدِ you can take it as isme ishara musharin ilay, or you can also take هَذَا الْبَلَدُ as badalan mubdal minhu. There are two ways of doing it. So then this will become muta'alliq for it, and together the mubtada and the bihadha al-balad muta'alliq or qa'im maqam khabar together will form a whole sentence, and that sentence will take the place of the khabar for anta. And then we have, okay, this is the last thing for today. Yes, and this is again a hadith mubarakah, and it says that al-ghibatu ashaddu min al-zina. That so al-ghibatu is the mubtada. Ashaddu min al-zina. Ashaddu basically is an ism, but which ism it is? It is the ism tabdeel. The ism which is used for comparison. So this will become the mubtada. Min al-zina will become the jar majroor and the khabar for it. So together the whole sentence ashaddu min al-zina will take the place of the khabar for al-ghibatu. So this is the mubtada and this is the khabar, and the translation for it is backbiting is more intense than infidelity. So we will end the session here. and then we will have another session for question and answers inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.